This is Algebra 1, Semester 2. This is the unit on quadratics. It's lesson number 14, Special Factoring Practice. It's on creatormath.com under the Algebra tab. Copy the following problems into your composition book on the correct pages according to the table of contents with the notes for those pages from creatormath.com. And I'm showing you that really quickly, just because so many ask. Here's the website, right? creatormath.com, or if you're searching on Google, you might have to type creatormath.weebly.com. And even then, you might have to search a little. You might type that into your URL address bar on your browser. So let's go to Algebra. Scroll down past the vocabulary videos and content and go to Semester 2, Table of Contents. This is the table of contents you copy onto your composition book, pages 2 through 6. Exponents and polynomials is one of the units. 2 variable data is the second unit. Quadratics is the third unit. We're way down on lesson 14. This quadratics has a boatload of lessons in it. Special factoring. This tells you what page it goes on, and this tells you what the notes are. You might have to open it a couple of times to get it to load. I do. Nope, that one loaded. Sure as I say it, it loaded. So you can zoom in. This is what goes on those pages in your comp book. It explains to you FOIL. It explains to you factoring is the reverse of FOIL. It explains to you things like what two numbers multiplied equal the tail and then add to equal the middle term. It explains to you special factoring, which these, anytime we have sort of two binomials that are the same, or two binomials, one with a positive and a negative, we call them sort of special products. It's interesting to us. FOIL, factoring, quadratic, trinomial, binomial, these are all in the notes, and these will all help you. There's some problems in there too you copy into your composition book, and that's how you find them. So let's go on with the problem set here, given that we're assuming you're putting those notes into your composition book. Some of these should look familiar. We do use the same problems over and over to sort of help you, get into a groove where you can go, oh, I've seen this before, let me check my notes, let me look back and see how this was solved. So we're looking for what two numbers when multiplied equal 121 and when added equal 22. So I already know in my brain x plus 11 times x plus 11. And how do I know it's true? I'm going to do FOIL first, outside, inside, and last. First is x squared. Outside is plus 11x. Inside is plus 11x. Last is 11 times 11, which is plus 121. These combine. 11x and 11x is 22x, plus 121 on the tail, and the lead is still x squared plus, and that matches up well. Let's just say that this equals x plus 11 squared, because there's two of them, right? If they're identical and there's two, we can say to the power of 2, and there we go. Almost always in these problem sets, there are some repeated ones. Here, now all of a sudden, it's minus. Otherwise, it's the exact same problem. I already know it's x minus 11 times x minus 11. And I know there's two of them, so it's x minus 11 squared. The problem sets will often give you these kind of almost identical problems with slight changes so that you can compare the different problems. And here we go right here. Look at this, x squared minus 121. Well, I'm pretty sure there's 11 times 11 involved because we're at 121. How do we get the middle term to disappear? This was two positives in the two terms. This was two negatives in the two terms. We had a positive middle term, a negative middle term, and that makes sense. What if the middle terms disappear? Don't we need one of these positive, one of these negative? So let's try x plus 11 times x minus 11. Now what happens is x squared first. Outside is negative 11x. I'm doing FOIL. Inside is plus 11x. Last is positive times negative is negative 121. So notice the negative 121 and notice the middle terms canceling. This is our special product because that middle term cancels, and we find this very fascinating, and students find it very challenging to factor because a missing item means you got to know it was there prior, right? So you do need to have some knowledge and experience with this before you can do these. Well, this is it. You're doing that right now with this practice, right? So x. And looking at these three together is kind of the illustration that this problem set is trying to do for you. All right. Do they do this again? it looks like they might be starting another one. This time we've got a plus 12x and a 36. Look at this, minus 12x and a 36. And do they have the next one where the middle term is missing? I bet they do. So I'm going to go straight for x plus 6 times x plus 6, which equals x plus 6 squared. All right, for the same reason we just went through. I'm going to jump straight to here, and I'm going to do x minus 6 times x minus 6, which equals x minus 6 squared here. And let's just look at the third right away, because I know what they're going to do. They're now going to give us one with the middle term missing, so it's going to be an x plus 6 times an x minus 6. So look at those three together, just like the first three with 11s. And what they're doing is the same pattern they're repeating for us. Remember using FOIL to reverse all this, to go back to the original. And factoring is like division. FOIL is like multiplication, right? They're opposite operations, so to speak. And maybe not technically operations, but they're using multiplication and division as opposite operations. All right, any chance they do it again? Because we'll do 3 problems right in a row here. Yeah. Not really, kind of. This is interesting. So now they're giving us a lead coefficient, and notice these 3 problems in a row are very similar. There's a 2 involved. That's a lead coefficient there. We don't like this at all. We like to divide it out if possible. That means factor. So if I pull a 2 out of all these terms, you pull the 2 out, you're left with x squared plus 12x divided by 2 is plus 6x. 18 divided by 2 is plus 9. Right? Let's do this one while we're at it also, because it's going to be almost the same. Pull the 2 out front, factor it out, get x squared minus 6x, because negative 12x divided by 2 is negative 6x. And this becomes plus 6 plus 9. Okay, 18 divided by 2 is 9. This one, interestingly, factors out like this. 2 times x squared minus 18 divided by 2 is 9. So they've brought us right back to the 3 type of problems they just gave us. This one's going to be x minus 3 times x minus 3. The 2's out front. This one's going to be x. Oops, let's go up to this one, sorry. This is going to be x, can I still see it? X plus 3 times x plus 3 times the 2. And this one's going to be x plus 3 times x minus 3. They're going to be opposite signs so that that middle term disappears. These are the same, so it's going to be 2 times x minus 3 squared. These are the same, so it's going to be 2 times x plus 3 squared. And now all we have to do is go down and mark all of our answer choices. I feel like my pen is dying. Do I have another pen? Hey. All right, then what? Do they just give us one more problem? So we solved 3 problems at one time. So 4x squared minus 49. This is a 7 times 7, right? But I can't pull the 4 out of a 49. I can't factor that out without having decimals, right? We're not going anywhere with decimals. So I think we're setting up 2 of these. Because the middle term is gone, there's going to be a plus on one and a minus on the other. Ooh, I like my new marker. There's going to be a 4x maybe here. And I'm cheating a little. I'm looking over at the answers. No, I don't have a 4x. I got a 2x and a 2x, right? I mean, that's one of the advantages of multiple choice. I get to work backwards from what we got. And I do see that a plus 7 minus 7. Let's just go through and FOIL it. Plus 7 minus 7. First, outside, inside, and last. So first, 2x times 2x is 4x squared. Outside. Negative 7 times 2x is negative 14x. Inside is positive 14x. And last is negative 49. These disappear, they cancel, and I get 4x squared minus 49. This one, right? kind of interesting. I guess they just sort of took the example and stepped it up a little bit in difficulty. Make sure you're matching up. Go by the title and follow the sort of cryptic system here. Algebra 1, Semester 2, Quadratics Unit, and this is the 14th lesson Special Factoring Practice. And it's on creatormath.com under the Algebra tab.